Hello and welcome to a podcast. I'm Danny, and today Great.com talks with Pam Montgomery, the CEO, and Amanda Sear, the operations manager of Habitat for Humanity of Prince Edward Island. If you haven't heard of it, they are fostering family strength, stability, and independence through affordable home ownership. Remember, if you're new here to this podcast, press subscribe on YouTube or in a podcast app. Now, hi Pam and hi Amanda, and welcome.
Hi, thanks so much for having us.
Thank you both for joining us today. I'm looking forward to learn more about what you guys are doing. I was thinking this before joining and meeting you fully. I very much like to talk with chapters of Habitat for Humanity. I think you guys are doing always a great work, and the way that you get your communities together, it's something else, I've got to say. Talking about this, let's begin first with history, right? So how the activities started there in Prince Edward Island?
So we've been in existence since about 1996. Started with a local faith-based group, and they expanded out with the affiliate agreement with Habitat Canada and have grown to a provincial entity. They were localized in the capital city of Prince Edward Island in Charlottetown to start, and they've become a provincial entity since then. So since inception, we've been able to provide island families with 76 homes. So we're pretty proud of that.
Wow, that's actually an amazing number. Really, really. And that let's learn more about this community, these families that you are serving. What are the most pressing issues? I think it would be nice to have our audience come together to understand the realities that you're facing.
Well, like so many other parts of the world, Canada and Prince Edward Island, we're facing, a housing crisis and have been for a while, become very apparent through COVID. The lack of housing and the supply and availability. It's always been Habitat's mission to provide that strength, stability, and independence through affordable home ownership. And with rising costs and shortages all over the place, it's become harder and harder to do. So that's been a big issue, and we're pushing hard to try to provide some supply and be that bridge between or transition place from affordable rental or rental to affordable home ownership. And Habitat for Humanity is probably the only organization in Canada that provides that opportunity for affordable home ownership. So we're pretty busy. Yeah. And, our clientele is people and families who are, in that transition place, who are ready for the challenges and have the ability to pay an affordable mortgage. And by the challenges, I mean, there are associated challenges with home ownership that you wouldn't necessarily have in a rental unit. So that's part of the criteria for our applicants is.
I think this crisis is global, in fact, right? We've been seeing a lot of similar things here in Brazil, and things are tricky. It's kind of crazy. And again, after COVID, I think it got much worse. And when we stop to think about it, having your home, it's such a instability. It's something that you kind of risk out of the list of things to worry, and then you're gonna focus on other stuff. So you guys are helping to take a huge burden away from so many families. Thank you for that. And let's understand more exactly how are you being able to do that. So what are the programs that you have running right now?
So we have our homeownership program, which is our biggest program and the reason that we exist. But then we also have our Restore, which is a nonprofit, kind of a home improvement retail entity, I guess. Social enterprise is what we like to call it. It's just a place that people can go and get something for a better deal than they would be able to go to like any normal big brand retailer. And all the money that we make through our restores what funds our operations and allows us to build more homes.
Wow, that's incredible. And one thing that I think is I see very often on Habitat for Humanity chapters is this role of volunteers, right? I mean, I see it very, very often. It's usually a way to help the community, like creates this sense of we are helping each other, we are building this for ourselves. And I see so much beauty on it. Is this something that you experience in the island as well?
Absolutely. Volunteerism is a cornerstone piece of Habitat for Humanity's vision and mission. And, since inception, the organization's been reliant on volunteerism to be successful. COVID changed COVID changed a whole lot of things, and for us, it changed how we engage volunteers. With our code requirements and the expense of building, it's become more and more challenging to engage volunteers on a build site. But we do have tons of opportunities for volunteerism and engagement in and around our build sites, and also at our restore and with some other community organizations that we partner with. Part of our home ownership applications, one of the requirements is that our Habitat homeowners provide 500 volunteer hours. That's part of the deal to become a Habitat homeowner. So with limited and different types of volunteer opportunities on site, on a build site, we've partnered with other organizations in our communities like Red Cross, and we were fortunate here last year to host the Canada Games in Prince Edward Island. So some of our Habitat homeowners had opportunity to volunteer with Canada Games. So we do rely heavily on volunteerism, and we also recognize the value of it and for other organizations, and the ability to partner builds everybody up. So
yeah, absolutely. I think we only move forward when we've been together, right? You really hold hands and try to do things together. One thing that I got curious about, promise a quick question, is that are you able to offer any help with like home repairs as well? I think it's another bit of it.
Yeah, for sure. So critical repair or a home repair program in Canada is something relatively new. In the US, critical repair or home repair is a big part of what the US affiliates do. It's become a big piece of their work. And it's relatively, there are a few affiliates who do home repair now in Canada. We were fortunate to be part of a pilot program with Habitat Canada to execute a home repair program or a critical repair program to help improve the existing housing stock for a couple of reasons. One, to ensure that there's some transfer of intergenerational wealth. In PEI, there's a lot of existing housing stock with seniors who may not have the ability or the mobility to keep their home or have it be as accessible as what they need it to be. So with our home repair program, we're hoping that we can work with some seniors to allow them to age in place, and just expand our reach and our impact in communities. If there's an opportunity to provide repair programs that allow people to safely and legally live in their homes, then we're all over it. So right now, our biggest challenge is with the shortage of skilled trades and trying to line up some volunteers is resourcing the program. So we're working pretty hard to try to accomplish that. So we've piloted a couple of critical repairs in our communities, and going forward, that's a big part of our operation plan for the future is how can we resource it to more efficiently and effectively provide home repairs to island communities. So,
oh, I think that'd be great, great. And since you talked about these challenges, it's another question that I have. Would you say that right now your most compelling issues in an organizational level are related to finding resources, either human resources or financial, or is there any other thing going on?
I think with us, certainly the the human Amanda's she's going to elbow me here. The financial and human resources are always a challenge. Particularly in a not-for-profit environment, there's a sense that, if you're a not-for-profit organization, you should somehow be able to magic results with, shoestring and buttons. And, so we're trying pretty hard to adequately resource ourselves to execute our mission and purpose. But it's always a challenge. And another, with the evolution of habitat, we've moved away, and just I don't want to say we've moved away. It's always our purpose to support low to moderate income families. But that scale of what low to moderate income and the ability to pay an affordable mortgage has changed. And there's still some, and I'm not sure where this came from because it's never really been part of our mandate, that we give homes away. We don't. They're mortgaged. But there is still this perception that it's poverty relief, and that, basically, we're giving away keys to homes, or that it's subsidized housing. So that perception has been a big challenge for us to overcome in some of our communities, to help us get to the right demographics and the right applicants, who will be successful homeowners, and so that we're not setting them up for failure, that we're putting them in positions to succeed in their home ownership journey. So that's been a big challenge for us. Anything else? Did I miss anything?
Oh, but I think you touched in a very, very important point. This misconception that your guys are giving houses away. It is so complicated. And I love the fact that you bring this. We don't want to set people up for a failure. We want them to succeed. We want them to live in their houses for a long, long time. And I think that's kind of a reflection, right, of this mission, the way that you pose it. It's about empowering people in a sustainable way as well. So it's really important that you mentioned it. And I think when we look at the different communities that Habitat chapters serve, this is really the idea. So I'm just going to tell people to actually get informed, because we are covering some ground here, we're covering some base, but you can get good and reliable information online, and you can go to their page, which is Habitat PEI.ca. And we're going to add it here on the description of this episode as well. But get in there, and then you can, see more about what they're doing. You can engage. You can learn exactly what they do. And if you need help, is that a good way also to ask for help?
Absolutely. I think throughout our website, we're pretty easy to contact. And there are clickable links to get you to the people who can provide you with more information. So absolutely.
There's also a donate button at the top of the page if anybody's interested in helping our organization in any way. And there's also volunteer forms that people can sign up to volunteer with us. All of it helps.
Absolutely. Those are the best ways to help you guys right now then, right? Donating and volunteering.
Yes. Absolutely.
A quick question. Do you accept any type of people to volunteer, or are you looking for people with specific skills? Anyone can join?
Anyone can join, really. I think the biggest opportunity that we have right now is within our restores. We look for people that are available Monday to Saturday, 9 to 5. Our retail operation needs a lot of hands to keep it running. So,
well, you heard it. Go there, find ways to help. every help, every little bit of help counts, right? Thank you so much, Amanda, and thank you, Pam, for joining us today. This was really a great and wonderful conversation.
Yes, thanks you so much. It's been great learning about what you guys do too.
Thanks. It was a pleasure. And for everyone listening or watching us right now, also thank you so much for staying with us for one more episode. And remember, if you like this podcast, if you like this episode, press subscribe on YouTube or in your podcast app, because that shows the algorithms that this is an important conversation. And then we can spread the word about the importance of the Habitat for Humanity of Prince Edward Island. Again, check their page, learn more, volunteer or donate. Every little bit counts, every little bit helps. And sometimes the best thing that we can do is actually spread the word. So if you learned it, if you learned something about it, you find it nice, you want to get involved, just tell your peers. That helps a really good bit of the way. All right. Bye. And I'll see you in the next episode.